everyone, and welcome to this week's 5-Minute Friday, which is a list of things that I'm enjoying and examining so that you can take those and apply that to your life and ultimately to your transition. And this week, I've got for you a song, a quote, a tool, a book, and a show I'd like to recommend. So first up is the song. The song I'd like to recommend is Gin, Smoke, and Lies by Turnpike Troubadours. This song is just dynamite. I absolutely love it because it has a great bass line. It's got a great tone to it. I love the way they harmonize in this song, and it's something that I just really have been enjoying for a few weeks now. Next up, I'd like to offer to you a quote that has been on my mind a lot recently, and it's, "To get respect, you must give respect." And this starts with self-respect. And this was something that was taught to me by my former speech teacher in middle school. His name was Tyrone Wilkerson. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I've been seeing so many people just fly off the handle publicly and just kind of the tone and tenor of where our society is right now. And for me, like that unbridled, unleashed outrage causes me to question somebody's self-respect, because if you respect yourself enough, you'll understand that there's a lot that's affected when you behave that way, even if it's just in an online forum. And when you see this going on, it's easy to be mad at people for behaving poorly, but really when you get down to the root of it, and what I've been thinking about, what Tyrone said, is it's really just a self-respect thing, right? You got to respect yourself enough to not be that person who's so outraged all the time that nobody can communicate with you anymore. So that's something that's been on my mind. Next up is a tool I've been using. This is a tool I use every day, constantly. They don't pay me anything to say this. I don't have an affiliate deal with them, but Grammarly is a very valuable tool because it goes a little bit further beyond your typical word processing and spell and grammar check type of tool. And what it's been very useful for is helping me clean up my writing and have it flow much better. Now, there's no tool in the world that's going to prevent you from needing to do like some nitty gritty editing on the back end, but it really takes a lot of the grunt work out of it because it identifies the obvious stuff for sure. And even some style and usage stuff. And why that's important is I see a lot of vets coming out, and if there's one skill set that we need to develop across the board that you didn't necessarily pick up in the military, it's writing. Writing is so important. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to become a novelist, right? But every communication that you send out establishes your brand. And if it's poorly written, whether or not people admit it, that enters into their thinking about you, right? And if you want to become a titan, it's very important to get your writing tight, okay? It's just, and this to me is just a very simple way to do that, okay? Next up, I'd like to talk about a book. This is a book that has been instrumental in helping me frame my mindset about civilian careers and civilian life in general. And it's a book by Tim Ferriss called The 4-Hour Workweek. And a lot of people have heard about this book. I'm not sure how many people have actually read this book and tried to apply it, right? If you attempt to apply this book, I promise you're going to start making some dramatic improvements in your life. This has been fundamental. And for me, it was really the book that switched my vision of what I was looking for from life and also what I was looking for from experts that I'm listening to, because it's very detailed in what you need to do. This is the next step. This is the next step. This is the next step. That to me is what I want from people when I'm going into an information-based relationship with someone. So Tim Ferriss absolutely knocks this one out of the park. Next, I'd like to recommend a show just for fun. This is one of the best shows I think I've ever seen. It's a show called Peaky Blinders by Stephen Knight, and it's currently on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, by all means, you don't need to. I'm sure you don't need to find another show to watch, but Peaky Blinders is just exceptionally well written. Tommy Shelby is just one of the ultimate heroes that you love to hate, and he is also still very relatable. And from a veteran perspective, looking at Tommy Shelby and kind of what he's going through in this show, there's a lot of parallels. Now, it's still Hollywood, it's still media, but this is just a very, very well written show from my perspective. If any of you want to get in touch with me, if you want to see more of these 5-Minute Fridays, by all means, get in touch. This is how you can reach me. And I hope that this stuff is helpful. This is just something that you need to use to get your creative juices flowing. Okay. This is not, you don't need to do everything on this list. This is just something to help keep jogging or moving things forward for you so that you don't get stagnant, because something to always keep in mind is that today's priority is tomorrow's unnecessary task. Okay. Put the building blocks in place one at a time. All right. See you guys next week.